Nova is one of those frames that everyone needs to have a good build for. She's S tier without even trying. Walk into a room and enemies die, yet you barely touched them. That's the whole pitch. She's one of the rare frames where her nuke is completely self-sustaining with the right build. And unlike a lot of frames people hype up, she actually earns it. Her blueprints drop from the Raptor assassination on Nama Europa. We'll get to that. First, her kit. This is why you're here. Everything else in Nova's kit exists to support this one ability. Cast Molecular Prime and every enemy in range gets primed. Primed enemies slow down, they take more damage, and when one of them dies, it explodes, priming an enemy nearby. This can create a chain reaction, nuking the whole room. You barely fired a shot and they all exploded. Here's the thing most people get wrong when they first pick her up. How you cast it changes everything. Tap Molecular Prime, enemies slow down. Hold Molecular Prime, enemies speed up. For beginners, you always want to tap. Slowed enemies are easier to shoot, easier to dodge, and the chain explosions have more time to spread across the room. Speed Nova is a whole nother video. Right now, tap. Always tap. The other thing to know, Molecular Prime has a cast range. It's not global. If enemies are outside that range when you cast, they don't get primed. This is how Nova doesn't die. Null creates antimatter particles that orbit her and intercept incoming damage. Every hit that would hurt you gets absorbed by a particle instead. The higher your ability duration, the more particles you get, the more damage reduction that translates to. She looks squishy, but she genuinely isn't, as long as you keep Null up. The thing that trips up new Nova players is letting it drop. You cast it, forget to recast, and suddenly you're dying to enemies that felt irrelevant 5 seconds ago. Keep an eye on your particle count in the bottom right. When it starts getting low, recast. With Molecular Fission, which we'll get to, this basically takes care of itself. Single target nuke. Different job to Molecular Prime. You launch a ball of antimatter and then shoot it to charge it up. The more damage you pump into it before it hits, the bigger the explosion on impact. Against a boss, a heavy unit, or anything Molecular Prime's chain explosions aren't finishing fast enough, this is your answer. It takes a bit of practice to aim the shot while the ball is moving, but once you get the timing down, the damage output is stupid. Think of it as your precision tool when the room clear isn't cutting it. Movement tool. Opens a portal, you go through it. You'll use this less than everything else in her kit. That doesn't mean ignore it. On defense missions when you need to rotate fast, on open world content, or any time you need to close a distance quickly, Wormhole is the answer. It's the ability that makes Nova feel fast when she needs to be. Don't forget it exists like I do. Nova's passive is simple and easy to forget about until you realize how much it's doing. Enemies slowed by Molecular Prime have a 15% chance to drop health orbs when Nova kills them. Enemies sped up by Molecular Prime drop energy orbs instead. That's it. For beginners running tap cast, you're passively generating health pickups every time you clear a room. That's free survivability on top of Null. It doesn't sound like much until you're mid-mission and your health is topping itself off without you thinking about it. This is the mod that ties the whole build together. Every time a primed enemy dies, Molecular Fission restores a Null particle, so the loop becomes cast Molecular Prime, enemies slow down, they start dying, every death feeds your Null back up. You're not recasting Null constantly, the kills are doing it for you. Nova's component blueprints, new objects, chassis, and systems, all drop from the Raptor assassination on Nama Europa. Each blueprint is a separate drop with its own drop chance. That means multiple runs. The main blueprint comes from the in-game market for credits. Grab that first so it's already there once you've crafted her components. This is the assassination that trips every new player up, including me. Once you destroy a Raptor, it drops a power cell. You pick it up, carry it to one of the generators on the ground floor, and deposit it. That's what actually damages the boss. You're destroying the manufacturing process. The Raptor moves constantly, so keep moving. Frames with good mobility help here, like Volt or Nezha. Nova's kit has 4 abilities, but honestly, the rotation is simple once you understand the priority order. Null Star first, always, before you engage anything. Get your particles up and your damage reduction active. Then, cast Molecular Prime. Tap it and let the chain explosions do the work. Your job after that is to keep moving, stay out of trouble, and make sure Null Star doesn't drop. Antimatter drop is your boss tool. The moment something isn't dying to chain explosions, that's your cue to launch a ball and pump damage into it. Wormhole is your panic button and your rotation tool. Use it when you need to be somewhere else fast. The mistake new Nova players make is playing too passive. She's fast, she's tough, with Null Star up, and her damage output rewards aggression. Get in range, cast Molecular Prime, let the room implode, that's the playstyle. Here are 2 builds for her, one for newer players and the other for people trying to push to Steel Path. Baby Tenno, no primed mods required. Dreamer's Bond, your squad gets a passive health and energy regen. Continuity, increases ability duration. Streamline, reduces ability energy cost. Augur Message, more ability duration, same goal as continuity. The Augur set bonus also charges your shields every time you cast. Small but useful. Augur Reach, increases ability range, vitality, raw health buffer, intensify. Strength boosts the damage reduction of Null Star. Molecular Fission, the Augment, non-negotiable, already covered why. Last slot, Fast Deflection if you want shields back faster, Fortitude if you've done nightmare missions and want knockdown resistance on top, either works. Steel Path, when you're ready to scale. Corrosive Projection in the Aura slot, strips enemy armor for the whole squad. Power Drift in the Exiler slot, pushes ability strength higher and gives you knockdown resistance. Primed Continuity, straight upgrade from Continuity. Primed Flow, massively expands your energy pool. Equilibrium, converts health orbs to energy and energy orbs to health. Stretch, more ability range. Same logic as Augur Reach in the beginner build, just more of it. Adaption, damage resistance that builds up the more you get hit. Blind Rage, big ability strength spike. The energy cost increase hurts, but Primed Flow and Equilibrium cover it. Molecular Fission, still non-negotiable. Neutron Star, lets you detonate your Null Star particles on command as a burst damage and crowd control tool. At this point, Nova is deleting rooms and absorbing everything. If you're just starting, run the Baby Tenno build. Get Molecular Fission first, everything else upgrades over time. Nova's one of those frames that changes how you see Warframe. Once you understand what Molecular Prime is actually doing, the whole game gets easier. You stop shooting everything and start letting the chain do the work. If this video helped, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I post weekly guides aimed at helping beginners. Thank you for watching Tenno, and I'll see you in the next one.